What's up, everyone? Happy Monday, or maybe not so much, a little sluggish here. This is quite a Monday after the holiday. We were in a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back. It is Gambling with Gold Mondays, joined by Jason. Jason, how was your holiday?
Holiday was absolutely fantastic. Had a lot of family time, a lot of football. Introduced my son to all the Thanksgiving treats and all the Thanksgiving games. He sat on the couch and watched football with me for about 4 hours. So that was a nice change. Good to see the family. Ready to get into some more gambling.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of years of you and your son sitting on the couch watching football. I can imagine.
Absolutely.
There's more where that came from. Let's jump right into this Monday Night Football game. We've got Chicago going to the Vikings, going to US Bank. Minnesota home favorites -3. Total sitting at 43.5. Do you have a lean on this game?
Yeah, I bet Chicago plus 3.5 earlier in the week. I still think I would bet it at 3. Prediction for this game that I had 20-19 Bears. So let's stick with the primetime unders. Another one came through last night. Let's take the under 43.5. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think the Bears looked a lot better last week. Vikings, we'll see. They've had a little bit of time off here, but I don't know if they're going to get this one done in a big way. I think it'll be tight, and I think the Vikings pulled out at the end, but I would not be surprised to see the Bears pull this one out. And maybe there's worth a little sprinkle on the Bears money line.
Yeah, I think if there's anything we know about Vikings games, is they're always going to be tight. Like, this is going to come down to the fourth quarter. It's going to be a sweaty one for Vikings fans. It's going to be a sweaty one for Vikings bettors. The total is interesting to me. I have flirted with the idea of taking the over just because of how many points the Vikings are scoring. And I think Chicago gets this chance to be inside the dome, and we might see a big Mooney game here. Let's just jump into props. What are you betting on tonight?
Not a whole lot of props tonight. A little confused by some of the numbers in the market here. Didn't want to go full-throated at it. But I do like Jordan Addison. Over 3.5 receptions, over 39.5 yards. We're going to play him anytime touchdown as well. I think this is part of the, I don't think that Jefferson has any chance of playing tonight. I think that Addison's being a little undervalued in the market here. And then we're going to play anytime touchdown on Komet. He's been a monster. He gets in the red zone and he's scoring touchdowns. So we're going to continue playing that. And then interception props. I got to go to the queen herself and see what she likes, but I'm kind of leaning towards a Dobbs yes interception tonight.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning that way too. Although I wouldn't be mad at you if you bet on both of them. Maybe even parlay them. Maybe it's a night that we get a lot of interceptions. I feel like I got robbed of them a little bit this holiday weekend with there wasn't as many interceptions for my liking. So I'd like to see a few. Maybe we get 2 out of one of these guys. I like Dobbs to throw in as well. I think that we're going to see them, attacking in the passing game here. I have a fun one. I don't usually do a lot of these defensive props, but Wanham over quarter sack plus 105. He's had 2 sacks the last 2 games. I think 4 in the last 4. Bears are very susceptible to letting Justin Fields get hit, although I don't think Carolina sacked him, but there's been at least 2 in the last couple games here. And a quarter sack isn't much for a guy that's been kind of heating up this second half of the season. He's not a name, he's not a household name, but I think that tonight people see what he's made of. Justin Fields over 9.5 rush attempts, -115. First game back after injury, he was out for about a month. They had 14 design runs for him. I don't think he's as effective on the ground, but I do think he's going to take off. Flores likes to blitz, so we'll probably see a lot of that tonight. Both these teams are horrible against running backs in the passing game, so I'm not sure how I want to play it yet, but I'm tempted to take a Khalil Herbert. I just don't know if I want to do receptions or receiving yards. So I'll post those on Pickett later. I haven't decided how I want to attack that. Ty Chandler over 10.5 receiving yards is also quite tempting. It seems like people are pretty low on him today, probably for good reason. And a Fields Dobbs, I thought this right before we jumped on, actually. A Fields Dobbs anytime touchdown parlay I feel like we've been getting a lot of quarterback touchdowns. So maybe I'm just being seduced by that.
No, screw it. Why not? They're both great mobile quarterbacks. They can find the end zone. Why not throw a couple bucks on it?
Yeah, I didn't flirt around with it. I put it into FanDuel, got plus 600. I can imagine you probably can get a better number on that. Also like Hawk, anytime touchdown. I might sprinkle on him for first touchdown as well. Hawk and Dobbs just have this like crazy chemistry. I think we found out too. Did you know that they practice in the off season together? Like they train together?
I did not know that, but it certainly showed up.
Yeah, something like that. So we're seeing that happen. Anything else that you like for this game or last thoughts on this game?
Last thoughts on this game is I hope that I bet the under. I hope that we actually get to see some points in an interesting game because last night was interesting, but holy hell was it boring until we got to late fourth
Fucking
quarter.
boring.
Also, Zay Flowers, you're on my no bet list now because I had Chargers plus 3.5. Sad. Just go down, buddy.
Yeah, that happens. I liked his little celebration where he threw the bouquet and he
Yeah,
was
the
trying to
bouquet
explain it
that
to
was
Lamar.
good.
And Lamar's like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, dude. Just like, I don't know what that is. It was quite funny. Also, I'll slip in the name Brandon Powell. I think he has been a sneaky weapon for this team. Wouldn't be surprised if he finds his way into the end zone. That number is all over the place. I saw it early this morning at plus 650, didn't bet it. Just got it at plus 500 anytime touchdown on FanDuel. They seem to like this guy. He probably disappears once we see JJ come back. A lot of these guys are going to start to take a hit, but for right now, he's been using this offense. So I think that he is worth a look there.
All right. I like it.
All right, let's get into some of these week 13. I don't know how the fuck it's week 13, but it is week 13. Some interesting matchups here. We have quite a few teams that are on tank watch, if not just blatantly tanking without saying we are tanking. What is your first bet?
All right, so I actually wanted to try something with you here. I'm sorry I'm breaking the show, Ryan, but
I love it.
The thing that everybody is going to care about, and then all the intro. I'm sorry, I ruined my own intro. That was great. Okay, so the game that everybody cares about this week is San Francisco at the Philadelphia Eagles, and everyone's going to lose their mind on Twitter about what this number is right now. Mm-hmm. It's San Francisco minus 2.5 in Philadelphia. Yeah. What is your opinion on this line? Do you think it's correct? And can you help me tell everybody online to shut the hell up about this line because it's correct?
I mean, I think this line is very correct, and it's funny because I left a part in this to be able to talk to you about this. I think you look at what the Eagles are doing, and the Eagles have been outgained by like 98 yards at least in 4 straight games. They've gotten, people are going to hate this take, but I'm going to say it. I think people are not realizing that there maybe is a little bit of this Minnesota type-ish action going on in the second half. I won't straight out say it because obviously they're a much better team. But the Eagles also have not been great against the pass. And then you see them going up against the San Francisco team, and we're talking especially across the middle of the field, and that's where we see San Francisco thrive. I think that this is a fair line. I'm surprised by the overreaction. I think that we're seeing people look at what their record is, and now everyone's all up in arms. But this might be the game. I struggle because they are these one-score games. They're 7-1, and I think that there is something to that where maybe they keep it up. So I have not bet on this game quite yet. It sounds like you have taken San Francisco. Where are you? I think San Francisco is the better team, period.
Yeah, so when the line came out yesterday, I bet San Francisco minus 110 on the money line. I bet it minus 1.5, and I'll bet them at minus 2.5. Once it gets past 3, if it does get past 3, I'll stop. Here's kind of where I'm at on this. I love the Eagles. I love their heart of a champion. I love the fact that they don't give up on games. I think it's super valuable. So in that respect, I think it's different than the Vikings last year, just winning all these one-score games. I think it'll prove immensely valuable when we get to the playoffs. They're still my pick to win the Super Bowl. I still think Jalen Hurts has a great chance to win MVP this year. He's the MVP favorite. But all of that being said, the last 4 games has been a gauntlet. They've been outgained. They've had to come back. They've pulled them all off. Great for them. I'm happy that I was on Buffalo plus 3.5 yesterday, but that was a wild ride that I don't plan on taking again anytime soon. One of these games, the Eagles are going to get hit in the mouth and blown the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And they're going to be down 17-0, and Jalen will throw an interception, and they'll just say, you know what? We give up on this game, wash it away. We'll be back next week, and they'll finish the season at like 14-3 or 15-2 or whatever, get the 1 seed, and then make their way to the Super Bowl. But I think that this week is the week that they get punched in the mouth, and I think that this score could get out of hand. I think that this could be 34-13 San Francisco. And everyone's like, well, what the hell happened to the Eagles? They played 5 games in a row that are just miserable. At some point, you just can't keep doing it. So that's kind of my angle on this game. I'm going to keep betting San Francisco as long as it stays below 3. And I think they win out. They win this game in a pretty convincing fashion.
Yeah, I think once it gets to the 3, and I think it's moved there in some places, that's going to be a little bit of a stay away here. This might be a game that I find myself live betting too, depending on how, if the Eagles do go down not by as much as I think they can come back. You might see me smashing the money line there, but I think that, like you said, how sustainable is what they're doing right now? Do I think that they're likely going back to the Super Bowl? Yes, I 100% likely think they're going back to the Super Bowl. They're a great team. I think Jalen Hurts is playing awesome. You know, a little bit of a rough first half yesterday, but that's okay. Because of what he's able to do. And, you know, the Bills are a whole nother story that I'm not even going to talk about today because I don't have the energy or the time to talk about it. But yeah, I think that this game is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where the line moves. I'm also looking forward to that Dallas-Philly game coming up here.
Yeah.
Too. That's going to be a good matchup. But what are you looking at? Get into your first, since I guess we're doing 2-2-1 now. It's 3-2-1 now. It's 2-2-1. Well, give me one of your twos or one of your best bets for week 13.
Okay. Last point on the Eagles. I can't leave the show without saying this. Okay. Last year, there's a game that was very similar to this. Minnesota had just beaten Buffalo in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And Dallas came in there, and Dallas was favored -1.5 at Minnesota, and everybody collectively lost their minds. And I bet Dallas in that game. Dallas won that game 40-3, I think was the final score. That's kind of what I foresee in this game while my son cries outside because he knows I'm going to be on Old Takes Exposed next week when the Eagles win this game. Okay. We'll move on to our picks for this week beyond San Francisco. I'm going to take Washington +9.5 in the game against the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
This is way too many points for the Commanders to be giving up in this game. I understand that they just got absolutely torched by the Dallas Cowboys, and this passing game for Miami can still be really successful. Tyreek's not 100% right now. Tua didn't look that great. He hasn't looked that great in a couple weeks. I think the Commanders are going to come in here. I think they may challenge for a win in this game, but +9.5 at home is an egregious number. So I have to take it.
I think you can find it at 10 some places too. And I think we've seen the Commanders play up to competition and they're kind of like the Titans used to be last year where they tend to play up to their competition and down to. You saw them, you know, get beat by the Giants, which was absolutely ridiculous, but then they go out and they play tough games against, you know, teams like the Eagles. So I'm with you on that one. This one is gross and I hate betting on this team, but I'm going to do it strictly off the fact of how bad the other team is. I'm taking the Chargers -6. I think the total is tempting too. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Only because you cannot tell me that the New England Patriots are tanking. They could have ran the ball. They could have easily beat the New York Giants. They did not. I don't know what the fuck is going on there with their quarterbacks. If the Chargers lose to the Patriots, they are the most unserious fucking franchise, I think, ever.
They might already be.
They might already be, but if they lose, like I'm willing to, honestly, Ryan got me these like stick-on mustaches. If they lose to the Patriots, I will wear one the entire episode on Monday because they are not losing to the Patriots. If they do, we got a fucking problem. Like Chargers fans, you need to be as dramatic as some of these Giants fans were. Write your little resignation letters and get the fuck out of there because this franchise is going nowhere. Like it's so concerning. And I don't think that they'll end up firing Staley is what it seems like because he should be gone.
Oh, I don't want to have the Staley conversation again. I feel like we have it every other week.
I know, we talk about it. It's you and I. It would just you can't help it. But yeah, I mean, if they lose to the Patriots and don't fire Staley, I don't know. I don't know what to tell the Chargers. It's pathetic. They're absolutely pathetic.
The Chargers have beaten the bad teams on their schedule this year for the most part. So yeah maybe they'll go in there, but yeah, I just don't want any part of the Chargers at this point. I'm done with the experience for right now until Staley's gone.
That's fine. All right, what's your next one here?
Next one, I'm torn between two, but I'll give you the one that I have to play every week. That's going to be the Tennessee Titans +2 at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Just a general rule. If Vrabel's a home dog, I have to bet it. Give me the +2. I know the Colts are playing well. They've also played a shit schedule. Tennessee can come in here, be competitive, run the ball with Derrick Henry. And their defense, you know, they can shut down the run. So can Gardner Minshew and Michael Pittman get it done enough? We'll see. I'm going to take the dog at home.
Are the Colts going to the playoffs? Like, are we really going to fucking see that? That's really fucking happening, huh?
Yeah, and if they do, you know, Shane Steichen, Coach of the Year odds probably are a good bet at that point. But yeah, they're super competitive and they don't play anyone, so they could end the season at 10-7 for sure.
Imagine if they had Anthony Richardson. What was the other one that you were in between?
I actually had three other ones that were like in contention. Houston -3. It looks like it moved to 3.5. That's kind of why I moved off. I don't want to give a stale number out there, but I think that they beat Denver. Denver hasn't seen an offense like this in a while. I know that their defense has played really well, but I think that Houston's going to score some points on Denver, and I'm not sure that Denver's offense can get enough done against Houston. Green Bay plus 6.5. Green Bay's playing good ball, and that's a lot of points they'll be laying at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I like the Packers in that one. And then I got to do it. I feel like this is a small special too. First game without your coach, the Frank Reich special. Give me Carolina plus 5 at Tampa Bay. This should be on your gambling docket, I'm sure, this week.
Oh, absolutely. I got it at plus 6 right before that moved. That moved immediately. It wasn't up there very long, but yes, it's a small special. So we're obviously taking that there with, it's just it's a systematic play right there. We're just not even going to think about it. You go ahead and take it. Do we have any new starting quarterbacks this week? I don't think so. If Dobbs plays bad, maybe keep an eye out. Oh no, they're not. They're on bye this week, so they don't really count. You said you were talking about the Broncos. Why am I not sold yet? Like, can you sell me on? I can't get there yet.
Because, well, I think part of it is we saw what that defense was earlier in the year. So, like, there's this weird juxtaposition between, remember, they gave up 70 to Miami, and now they're like a top 5 defense in the NFL. That seems weird. And I don't trust Russ yet. Like, they're doing okay things offensively. Sean Payton's a hell of a coach. He's getting it done. But all the pieces just don't look that appetizing when on television.
I can't do it. Someone just said DTR is out, so we could get Flacco.
Yeah, PJ Walker or Flacco against the Rams.
Yeah, I could definitely consider that. Although the Rams look real good, so I don't know. Okay, so for my last one, I regretfully, which I see both of these I don't love, but I'm going to do it. So I took Detroit at minus 3.5. I know it's moved to 4.5, so I won't give out.
I like that
number there, but Detroit is really good on the road. They're 4-1 straight up and against the spread. Saints are shit at home. 0-4 against the spread at home. Detroit, yes, has not been great. This is a really good get right spot for them and put things back together. I don't know what we've been seeing. They'll figure it out. The Saints are very mid. I've been saying it all season. They settled for 5 fucking field goals last game, and that was all the points they had. There was no touchdown. I don't know what's going on there. They're averaging only 2 touchdowns a game, 19th in the league, and the Lions ranked 3rd. I think this is a really good spot for the Lions to get right here.
All right, so as we move into totals, this was my best total of the week. Detroit, New Orleans, over 45.5. Dome game for Detroit, get right spot for Detroit. I think the points go over. And also, guess what? I think Jameis Winston's going to start this week. So give me all the points. Turnovers and bombs.
Woohoo! There's going to be a lot of interceptions on that game, and I'm excited for it. My first total, pretty simple. I actually played a little bit into weather, which I don't normally do for both of mine. The first one is Kansas City at Green Bay, under 42.5. We're going to get some weather here. Casey is 8-3 to the under. I just think both of these teams are not that impressive. I think that Kansas City's defense has been pretty good, and it's kind of straightforward here.
Yeah, I like that one. Play the weather. My second one, Cleveland Rams, under 39.5. I know the Rams offense looked great. Kyron Williams absolutely came back and was a monster. But this Browns defense is still one of the best in the NFL. I think that they're going to hold the Rams to, 20 points, something like that. And then even if it's Flacco or PJ Walker, the Browns offense, it doesn't really matter at this point. I think this game has like 21-17, 21-14 written all over it. It'll still hit the under 39.5.
Yeah, I'm with you. And then I'm going to take one that's already really low. Atlanta sitting there at 36.5. I think it's at 34. I'm still fine with taking the under there. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. Likely also going to get some bad weather as well. Jets defense is pretty solid, and Ritter still doesn't look that great. He had some nice plays. I think this stays under that total.
All right, well, you just led me into my upset special of the week. Jets over Falcons. Screw it. Let's throw it against the board.
It doesn't even sound like an upset is the thing. It sounds like what should end up happening.
Oh, my God. I can't believe I'm going to bet the Jets plus 2.5. I don't even know who their quarterback is at this point. Doesn't matter. I could play quarterback better than whoever's playing quarterback for them right now. But
I call them Boyles. What a gross
Boyles. Atlanta on the road with Desmond Ritter against a good defense. Sorry, I can't do it. I'm not laying the 2.5. I'll buy the 2.5 on the Jets.
Yeah, I'm all right with it. Any last bets for this week that you want to talk? Actually, I would ask you about one. This Cincinnati at Jacksonville. Are you taking the 8 of Jacksonville?
No, I'm not. I actually was kind of, I watched this guy in college a lot because he went to Washington. I was not unimpressed by Jake Browning. I thought he was better than most NFL backup quarterbacks that come in for their first start. He was okay. I understand they lost the Steelers and didn't look great doing it, but He looked semi-competent, so maybe I'd buy the plus 8.5 with the Bengals. I'm sure everybody's going to use Jacksonville as a teaser piece, 8.5 to 2.5 on a Monday. So that means the books are going to need the Bengals in a really big way. And guess what? That makes me want to bet on the Bengals. So.
Yeah, I'm leaning the Bengals as well there. All right, before we talk about Dak being MVP, anything else? Final thoughts, final feelings, comments, concerns?
Nope. I think we got it. But yeah, Dak is MVP. I think if I had to vote right now, he would be the MVP. I'm sorry. He's playing out of his goddamn mind the last 5 games. He's playing like Patrick Mahomes at like Patrick Mahomes peak levels. The fact that he's plus 1,000 right now and 5th in the rankings is hilarious. I think I told you when we talked about the segment like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I bet him at plus 4,000. I can't believe that I got those numbers. And it's the fact that it's plus 1,000. He should be, I think, second behind Jalen Hurts right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because I looked at them before we jumped on. So we've got Hurts. He's behind Hurts, Mahomes, Lamar, and Tua, which seems pretty ridiculous for how he's playing, as painful and nauseating as it is. I'm kind of expecting Dak to come back down to earth, but he is playing very well. And I think the odds are only going to get shorter as he continues to knock off and take care of some of these tougher matchups, because their schedule upcoming is not exactly a cakewalk.
What's their schedule for the rest of the season? I don't have it up in front of me. Do you?
I'll pull it up quick for you. Let's see. I know they have Lions. They've got Eagles. Let's see. Dallas. Bills, which, I mean, at that point, I guess it's not as complicated as let's see. All right. So they've got Seahawks this Thursday. They've got Eagles. They've got Bills. They've got Miami, Lions, and then Commanders that last week.
All right. So if you're trying to make the case for him, he's playing against 5 potential playoff teams over the next 6 weeks: Seahawks, Eagles, Bills, Dolphins, Lions. Commanders, week 18. Who knows what the hell's going to happen in that game? So next 5 weeks, really good competitive teams all over the place. They have 3 of those are home games. And all of those teams pretty much have either bad defenses, poor defenses, or bad passing defenses. He's going to be able to throw on Seattle on Thursday night. He'll probably have good stats. Yeah. The Eagles' passing game is their liability. They're going to put up 30 in that game, I think. At the Bills, another one. You just saw what Jalen Hurts did, and he was throwing the ball like shit yesterday. He had, 5 touchdowns? Then you have the Dolphins. Their defense stinks. The Lions, who have been torched by everybody recently. There's a chance that Dak continues the streak for the next 5 weeks. If they go 4-1 in those games and they beat the Eagles, like, Dak is going to be MVP.
Yeah, here's my counter, though. Counter.
He's Dak?
Yes, he's Dak. Okay. He owes me a couple of interceptions for the past couple of weeks. But this is the Eagles' remaining schedule. So this is where I'm a little bit concerned, because they have 49ers, Cowboys, Seahawks, and then Giants, Cardinals, Giants.
No, I don't think that it – 1, I think it's a fair point. But 2, I don't think that Dallas has to win this division in order for Dak to win MVP. Fair. I think that they need to go, 5-1.
Yeah.
And they need to beat the Eagles. If that Eagles game, I mean, that game might be for MVP, whoever wins that game.
Yeah.
But it's at home, and their pass defense sucks. Dallas can easily win that game. I think that they might be favored in that game. And they're going to have 10 days off to prepare because they play on Thursday. So, I don't know. I can already tell you I'm probably going to bet Dallas in that game.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet Dallas. I'm not going to bet on either of them because I hope they fucking tie. But I see someone in the comments, Daniel, saying Stroud over Dak. He didn't get to play the Giants twice, which I get it, but Stroud's not winning MVP. I feel so strongly about that. He's already going to win, Offensive Rookie of the Year. If anything, you're going to see D'Amico win Coach of the Year. But I don't foresee him winning MVP. There's too many guys that will likely win it before him.
Also, I love Stroud. He's obviously Offensive Rookie of the Year. He also turns the ball over like crazy. So it's not winning MVP.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
Have you bet any other futures before?
Not in the last week or so since we last, or 2 weeks since we talked about it last. The Dak one's the one that I keep betting into the market because I think that number's wrong.
should we have a moment of silence for the Panthers organization? Like, do they think that they can just fire a coach every single year and then that's going to make things better, or what's the point?
I saw someone tweet out that David Tepper treats head coaches like a rich guy treats cars that he's leased. He's just like, I'll just get a new one. Whatever. Screw it. What does $30 million mean? And I thought the funniest part of the whole thing was firing Josh McCown and Deuce Staley because they were the pro CJ Stroud people, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you should have listened to them instead of firing him.
Is Bryce Young going to be okay? Or are we out?
I think Bryce will be fine. I don't know who they want to bring in. It's going to be it's a shit show in Carolina right now. Yeah. And, all of the better that CJ Stroud plays, the worse it is for everybody, because all the rumors get started that David Tepper was the one that wanted Bryce Young and then whatever. So, yeah, I hope that Bryce gets an offensive line. Let's start there and then work around everything else.
And this is where I can't believe some Giants fans have the audacity to complain about how shitty things have been, because there are so many other franchises that have it so much fucking worse. Like I think most of these kids that are writing these have you seen the dramatic resignation? Like literally
No.
More emotional than me when I'm on my period. They're so fucking dramatic. I think most of them have to be kids. I don't think they saw the Super Bowls. That's I'm giving them a pass on that. Like maybe shit has been really bad because you're 13 years old and you're complaining on Twitter. You probably shouldn't even be on Twitter. But there's so many franchises that have it so much worse. Even the Lions, they have had it far worse than the New York Giants have.
You guys won a Super Bowl 12 years ago. Yeah. You don't get to complain for another decade.
Two of them in the past, just grow up. It sucks right now. It's definitely not pretty. Enjoy the ride of the DeVito shit that's going to end soon and just get over it.
I have 1 point for complaining Giants fans this year. You have the same number of wins as the Los Angeles Chargers do.
It's just, I've had enough. And then they want to complain about the draft pick. Nothing in the draft is for certain, but I'll let you get out of here. Any last thoughts before I let you go?
I think that's all I got for this week. I can't believe that the Giants and the Chargers have the same amount of wins.
I know. It's hilarious.
Unbelievable. All right. Thanks,
all right. We'll let you get out of here. Love you. See you next week.
See ya.
And then producer Ryan.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
How's it going with you?
Good. I feel like I haven't talked to you forever.
I know. It was crazy.
It's been too long.
Yeah. I don't know if Mercury was in reverse cowgirl or what was going on, but I got smacked in the head a little bit more before this year finally closes out. But we're back, 3 shows this week, and we'll see how it goes.
I was thinking when you were talking about the Giants resignation letters, because you have been tweeting about them as well. You should maybe do a short that is your Giants optimism letter.
Oh, maybe I will. I'm going to need a couple.
Antonym to resignation, optimism letter. Do some feel good stuff for the Giants fans.
Yeah, I'm going to need an entire bottle of wine to do that. I'm not saying I'm optimistic, but I'm definitely not as theatrical and as some of these fans are, which are ridiculous.
Okay, we've got 3 questions from Twitter for today for you. First one from Greg Peterson. Is there a mainstream beer better than Bud Light Platinum? Now, I don't know if Peterson is sponsored by Bud Light Platinum or what. But,
well, I posted a picture when Arizona kicked the fuck out of ASU, and it was a throwback of me. Yeah, it was bad. Great for me. At least that team won. Actually, all my teams won. The Nets won, the Giants won. I don't know how excited I'm supposed to be about the Giants, but that's okay. I posted a throwback of me in college, and with my friend's ass was out. I don't know why I even posted it. I was a little intoxicated. But I was holding a Bud Light Platinum.
Your male friend's ass, just so in case people go.
Yes, not my ass. It was not my ass. It was a male friend's ass. Correct.
But yeah, a male friend's ass, not a female friend's ass.
No,
if you're going to look for it.
Excited. And I was holding a Bud Light Platinum, and I don't know. I do like Mick Ultras, I will say, but I think Bud Light Platinums are they're always a good beer. The thing with shitty beers, they just have to be cold, and you can drink anything.
I guess what's the definition of mainstream beer? Because I was gonna say that I really like a Pacifico. Is that a mainstream beer?
I don't think so. Because I could go Blue Moon, we could go down that road. But no, I think mainstream is the main whatever. Bud Light, Miller Light, Busch lattes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair. Next up, from Michael Boutron, most disappointing team in the NFL so far. Also, he wants you to know, Steph, you're amazing.
Thank you so much. I needed that today. Also, before I mention this is day 2 with no high noons. I'm trying to make it to March, so let's see how it goes.
All the way to March.
I'm still drinking, but I'm not.
Just no high noons.
Yes, because when I went to New York City, I didn't have any high noons. When I was back home, didn't have any high noons, and I felt much better. So I'm going to see how long I can go without them. Most disappointing team in the NFL so far. I mean, the Chargers are pretty up there, but I guess at some point we all have to realize that we kind of just need to expect them to be that shitty every year because they've proven that they're that shitty every year. The Giants are obviously for me up there. Who else? I think that's it. I mean
a lot of the other teams we expected, right?
Yeah. I mean, Cincy sucks, but some of it is due to injury. So I don't know that I feel strongly any other way.
I feel like the Giants have to be up there.
Yeah, they do.
It's kind of due to Daniel Jones' injury, but he also wasn't that good before he got injured. And there was so much optimism around him coming into the season after his last season. So yeah, I think that's an easy one for you to say based off of your fandom, but I would agree with you there.
Do you think have you found the Arizona Cardinals disappointing? Because I think they've kind of played better than expected.
No, I feel like everybody was picking them to be last in the NFL. And while they're down there, they've been very competitive in all their games. I mean, minus the Rams. I expected them to be way more competitive against the Rams this weekend. That was not a fun game to watch for me. But yeah, that's all I could ask for from the Cardinals this year was for them to be competitive and at least make the games fun to watch.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I knew that they would be going for a top draft pick this year.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And that goes to Pluto's question. How does one tank properly?
It's very funny because this was in that dramatic letter that I quote tweeted yesterday from one of the fans. Like, you guys don't even know how to tank properly. I think what people fail to realize too is the NFL is a business. This is these guys' jobs. Some of them are fighting for their next contracts. Like, they're going to go out there and give it their all. When we had Nate Hollins on, we talked about it, where teams don't necessarily tank, but are they putting their team in the best position to win? I still think you even look at New England and the Giants, this game that we just watched, and I don't know if the Giants did everything they could to win that game. I don't know if they went 100%, but I don't know if you ever really fully tank, although New England is making a very fucking good case for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It even looked like that kicker tried to miss that one.
Draft picks are not guaranteed. And I don't know that, the Giants have shown me we've had how many top picks the past several years, and what has it exactly done for us? So I don't know that draft picks are exactly guaranteed. And I think Joe Shane said today, even they're going to take best player available, even if that's a quarterback. So I think that Joe Shane, if he really likes a quarterback, he will do what he needs to move up and get that guy also. So I don't think there's such thing. I think everyone is so fucking dramatic. These resignation what crybabies. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life.
Yeah, what else I guess they don't have anything going on in their life.
I think they're young. I think they're very young. And if you really think that, if the Giants are actually impacting you, you need to go see a therapist and seek help. It should not be impacting you to the point where you are this emotional. I'm concerned for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thinking of this tank properly question though, I was thinking about because you and I have both had a rough year, let's say, for different reasons, but we've both had rough years for different reasons. But I feel like it's a rebuilding year for both of us. Maybe we're tanking in our lives right now, but instead of, what do we get at the end of the year if we're tanking? Do we get a better draft pick, or how does that work in life?
Is it like a karma thing, or do I get some kind of cosmic positivity back from the fucking horrific year that I've had? Because I think we've tried to be as positive as possible. We haven't tanked too hard, but we are rebuilding so that when 2024 comes, we're gonna sage ourselves on the show and we're going to just move forward, and we're not going to talk about it anymore.
There you go. It's a rebuilding year for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've caught us in our rebuilding year, guys.
Yeah, we're in our rebuilding year.
Thanks for supporting.
Wait. You guys just fucking wait. It's going to be a big year next year, coming in hot, but we'll get out of here. Audio version will be up. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, rate us too on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. And we'll see you guys Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern live. My bets will be up on Pickett. I'll add that link to the description. So if you don't follow me on there, you can go check it out.
Watch him make it, break it, break it, break it down.